Hello and welcome to another edition of Extra Connections. I'm your host, James Lott Jr., where we connect you with people, places, things, and ideas. Today I'm interviewing someone who is a new buddy of mine who is hilarious, funny, hardworking, producing, acting, scouting things out. He does the Bay, which of course my friends over there, Gregory J. Martin, all them, Crystal Sanders, everybody over there at the Bay. I know everyone at the Bay. I know all of them. He was on Days of Our Lives.
There's a lot.
Days of Our Lives, folks. Years ago, we saw his stint on there as Troy Winston. He's done movies like Evil Touch. He's done a lot of different things. And we're going to get to know him a little better for you guys who think, he looks familiar. Is he that guy in that thing? Well, he is a name, and it's Erik Fellows. Hi, Erik.
Hello.
Okay, so I have another friend named Erik.
Oh.
Who spells with a K, Erik Brown. He's been on the show.
Oh, he does spell with a K.
No, he does.
Okay.
He goes,
we can be friends.
We can be friends. He's a great guy. He's also like us.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I like that.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked him.
Okay. Oh, boy, this is scary.
Okay. Are Eriks with a K better than Eriks with a C or CK?
Yes. Yeah. Once you started saying that, I knew exactly what you were asking. So yes.
So we were just laughing before the show.
What did he say?
He said that he told me a statistic.
Oh,
that's what it was.
I did my own statistic up. What do you mean? I gave you my own. There is no question in my mind that it's better. This is the thing. I have friends that are spelled with a C. They're great. They're great people. They're some of my closest friends, and I'll tell them to their face. They know my name is cooler.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hello. I think it's cool because the way it's spelled, just with a K. Well, for him, he says very Nordic.
Well,
so
yeah.
That's
my dad was born in Sweden.
There you go.
And the funny thing is, his brother, they got the name. His brother's middle name was Erik. Oddly enough, spelled with a C.
Oh.
And they're Scandinavian. So they're like, we wanted to change it and give you a K. I'm like, well, he's actually incorrect because of how, it didn't make any sense. So I'm like, I'm glad you gave me the K. So I don't have someone saying your name is not as cool as mine because yours is with a C.
Well, my friend Erik is from Minnesota. So a lot of Nordic people up there, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Spelled with a K, he told me. But he gave some statistic, which I forgot. But it was like there are more people spelled with a K, or with a C than a K.
Oh, in the actual world spelled there?
Yeah.
So I'm really not that cool. Oh, that sucks. I actually thought I was...
Or something like that. It's like somebody gave some statistic. I started laughing. I'm like, you had a statistic on the Erik spelling? I had no idea.
These are important facts to live your life,
I'm left-handed, so I'm always talking about left-handed people all the time. So I'm always like...
Okay. That gives you some sort of genius too, though, right? Being left-handed has that.
I like to think so.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll give you that. I'm going to give you that genius right now.
I mean, you can talk to a few people who might disagree with you, but I think I'm a genius. I just think I am.
Look, everyone has their own opinion. You know what I mean? I've learned, especially being an actor for this long, I'm like, listen, you're going to like it, you're going to hate it, you're going to love it. I don't really care. If I like it and I'm proud of what it is, then you can say what you want. But
that's very true.
I'm going with money because I can't worry about everything.
Where are you from?
Maryland.
Oh, so back east. Okay, you're from back east.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was born in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Okay.
Grew up in, a place called Beltsville, Maryland, which is outside of near College Park.
Okay.
About 15, 20 minutes from D.C.
Oh, okay.
Is where I grew up. And then New York, and then L.A.
My mother's side family is from New York. So I grew up with half East Coast, half West Coast attitude and stuff.
That's actually the best to have. Yeah,
I think so. I love East Coast. I love East Coast attitude. I love it all. What have you brought with you from the East Coast to the West Coast?
Well, my personality one. I think within besides that, people were always just like, for instance, my fiance, she's from Mexico, and normally Latinas are very aggressive, feisty, speak very fast, kind of like. And I grew up. My mom's Italian. So
there you go.
I grew up where we're all talking. Nobody can hear anybody. And we're all talking at a point where you think you would be yelling at each other. Now, the difference is you would think from her Latin side, she's actually different because she's very calm.
Oh.
Which is interesting. Now, on one side, the father's side's very calm, reserved, doesn't really speak about too many things. And that's cool. The mom's side is like me.
Yeah.
So she always thinks that I'm yelling at her even though, like right now, like she would think this is yelling. She was like, "You need to stop yelling at me."
See, it's normal to me. It's normal.
But
It's
I'm
all
not
normal.
yelling.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is I grew up with a very aggressive Italian tone, which comes along me bringing back the East Coast. Is we're very aggressive and very assertive and just go, 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 go in your face. But we don't think we're doing anything wrong. We're just telling you who we are. And we don't say we're yelling at each other. We're just like, oh, okay, we hear you, fine. We just, and you move on. Here it's like, it's offensive in certain ways. Like LA is definitely a more laxed perspective on life, especially the ones who grew up in California. So I would say my aggressive, loudmouth Italian East Coast side is what basically I think I brought with me, and that will never go away. And it is weird.
I love it, Eric. Don't let it go away. I love it. And I'll tell you, my grandmother, may she rest in peace, I would go to New York. She was in Park Slope in Brooklyn. And I go to Brooklyn, and I'm here to visit. I haven't seen her in like 4 or 5 months. And I'm like, okay, Gran, I'm ready to eat. All my favorite dishes, my Puerto Rican dishes, everything ready for me. And she was the type that would say things like, wow, you've gotten fat. What's going on out there? But here's all your food that you like. And all the food was fattening.
Oh, yeah.
And if you didn't eat it, then you get in trouble. So, but she's saying it not to really be mean to me. Well, I can try to explain to people, it's not being mean. It's just that they just talk. It's like they say what's on their
there's
mind.
no filter to what their thoughts are to like reality. So it's like you're just, they're going to say what they feel at that moment, never thinking that they once offended you. And I think the thing is when you move to Los Angeles, I've been here I've been here 19 years, October 10th.
Oh, wow.
And that's dating me. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's okay. You know what? It's fine. Yeah. I'm happy.
You're beautiful, Eric. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you. I think the thing is we get a little more sensitive out here.
We do.
We're very sensitive. So like, I've even at times become sensitive. And even to the weather, it's like we have perfect weather 99% of the time, and like it's a little chilly. We're like little wimps. And not to say that LA is a wimp, but you become you just can't handle things the same way. So I've had to learn to adapt on both sides and understand if I let go of who I was before, that's losing a piece of myself. So I needed to be able to consolidate to this human being on both sides to kind of play within it all, because you can't lose who you are. East Coast, I think, is has a very respectful understanding too. I mean, we're known for people that are go getters. There's times to calm down a bit, but you can't lose that fight, man. That fight is what's going to take you further in your life.
And I always tell people, whenever I have friends who are not from there, would come with me in New York. I go, okay, ready. My family will take you in because simply because you're important to me. They'll automatically take you in. Now, get ready for what that means.
Right.
You get ready for all that. But they'll give you a place to stay. They'll feed you. They'll take care of you.
Right.
Because you're part of me. I can say it's my best friend. Okay, best friend, you're part of it. They come in. That's what I love about the East Coast. You don't get on the West Coast. You don't get that in some places. East Coast is like that. When you're New York, Jersey, DC, where you get that kind of like, it's just that flavor of you're part of the village, you're part of the family. So like, just like, and I think you're right also. It's also the living in rough conditions all year long because there's seasons. It toughens you up. It just, anybody, if you have not been in a nor'easter storm and had to de-ice your steps so you can leave the house, then you don't know what the F you don't know what's going on out there. You don't.
No, not at all. And that's if someone comes, that's never really experienced that. It's a rude awakening. It's a rude awakening when you're like, 0-degree weather, blizzard snows. I grew up with blizzard snows, and they don't even get that really too much anymore back where I'm from. Each time I go in for Christmas, it's like, it's 70 on Christmas. I'm like, 70. What is just happening? I kind of miss a little bit of, I want that snow a bit because I grew up with it and I don't get it. Unless we go to Big Bear, or Tahoe or something like that, we don't really get it. So, there's just a difference of east to west for sure. But I would say that's what I brought with me, my loud mouth.
It's funny that I used to live in Pittsburgh, and so we get
Pittsburgh gets it.
I remember the first time. I'm a grown man. I was 30 years old at the time, 30-something years old. I own a house there, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go outside. The sun is out though, so the sun is out.
Right.
I know it's cold. They're saying it's 25 degrees. Okay, I get it, but the sun is out.
Right.
I'm get myself together, and then I open the door, and my steps are iced over.
Oh.
I'm like, how do I get down? Like, what do I do? And you can't just chip at it. That's not how that works. There's a whole
You got a
process.
sled. You got your sled. You got something. You put your butt on like a turkey dish, and you slid your butt down it. That's how you got down. You got to think.
Well, I'll tell you one time. No, I didn't do that. But I'll tell you one time. I arrived in Pittsburgh, and then my steps were iced over, and I had all my luggage from LA, and I'm like, they was always this crazy person, this big old black man at nighttime throwing stuff into the house, and I somehow got the door open, unlocked, and I'm tossing my luggage inside, and then I'm somehow trying to climb on the ice to get in the house. I'm thinking, what the F is going on over there?
Did people see this? Were there people around? Did they wonder what was happening?
If they did, and they didn't say anything. They was like, "Oh, I think it's a guy from LA." I mean, it was like, it was nuts up.
The movie's don't try to claw yourself up the ice.
I was trying to get. I was like, okay, I think I can hold on to this. And I can pull myself. I mean, it was the craziest thing. But I had to get in the house. I'm like, it's like
you got in, didn't you? That was the East Coast in you. You got your butt in there.
And that's our point, right? That's the go. Right. I was going to ask you because you've been in this business for a while.
Yeah.
You mean he was 2 years old when he started, folks.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah.
But there is something about being in this business for a while that jades some people. People will get a little salty, get a little jaded.
Yes, very much so.
This business is not for the faint of heart all the time. I've been in it 13 years, so I love it. But there's been times when I was like, oh, why am I doing this?
I feel like I have this conversation a lot with people. Well, I mean, look, even for many, I would say even every single actor, musician, host, you name whoever part of the entertainment industry that you're in, you're going to get a bit of jaded at times. I don't even care if you've walked into this business being part of a family that was very successful. If anything, they're more jaded than anyone. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean that in no disrespect, but the problem is that there's so many loops and variables that go into this that there is no rhyme or reason at times why they happen to go a certain direction. But early on, I used to think, well, I projected it for myself by certain time frames. We always do this. And I said, okay, well, this is how I see it. This is where I'm going to be at this age. Or this is where I'm going to be at. You start to move, and then all of a sudden something just oddly happens, and it doesn't go that direction. You get diverted in another direction, or choices that were made, or something that falls through. You know what I mean? The odd part for me is that I was never interested in this business at all. I mean, when I got into this business when I was 19, into modeling, I hadn't started acting yet. I was still in DC because I played basketball growing up, and I played high school ball, and I was a really good basketball player, point guard, and I had an opportunity to go play in Italy at a high school, but I tore my ankle. So it kind of got diverted my senior year. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Then I started losing not interest in basketball, but like there was just lots of things that went into why I didn't keep going, in that direction. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I wasn't big into school. I got decent grades, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. I was a person all I did was play basketball since I was 8. Basketball, got myself in trouble with some girls, but that happens. But the thing was, I didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life, and I got introduced to the whole entertainment world through an ex-girlfriend's baby. She was babysitting a kid, and the mom picked the kid. He used to be a little model, Tommy Hilfiger model that used to go to New York at times and do these jobs. And she had said to me, "Have you ever thought about modeling?" When I was leaving one day, when she was coming to pick up her kid, and I said, "Modeling what?" I didn't know what she was talking about. And she goes, "Oh no." She goes, like doing ads and like commercials, modeling and stuff. And I said, the way I grew up was like, I grew up kind of rough, man. I played ball, and I was like, no, my friends would make fun of me. Like, it was like, I wasn't gonna be a male model.
Right.
So kind of how it started. She gave me the number to the agency in DC, and I finally went and met with them, and that's kind of how it started.
Wow.
And the time of starting that and then getting into acting was like, I moved to New York, and I hadn't felt the jadeness of the business. I don't know if that's a word, but being jaded from the business, I just made it up. There you go. Erik Fellows, jadedness. I didn't know what it was yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what it was. And I got a lot of things handed to me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, early on. Yeah. But that also was good and bad because it helped me it made me realize that it's not going to be so simple. This is like, I actually have to try here. And good stuff happened. And I started seeing like, learning to be humble with it. But, you get this sort of like ego in this business.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're younger, you don't realize, you really don't even know what that means, man, until you start getting stuff handed back to you. And you're like, oh, it's not going to be so simple. So, being jaded comes along with it, but it's how you persevere out of it and the longevity in this business, I think what really matters. After being in it so long, where I'm at in my life and my career now, how I've seen it in the past and how I've wanted to walk away many times. Never fully did. Obviously, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Helped me become a stronger person, made me a better actor, made me a smarter business person. So made me realize that, now that I've gotten into producing the last few years, working on projects, how to connect people. But that was over a period of time of one, gaining the respect from people, and then also feeling comfortable enough of asking for the favors from these situations that trust me now. So I would never have had that. If I allowed being jaded to destroy me, you'll learn a lot from that, because being jealous or jade becomes, there's lots of variables into it. You know what I mean? Like, you see someone's career, like, well, I feel like I can do what they can do.
Right.
Why am I not in that position?
Exactly.
Why did they get before me? I mean, I can tell you so many people I've been up against that with similar looks over the years, even get compared to this day. Yeah. But I've had to take the route that I took. And now I'm very grateful that I didn't have super success to that level in my 20s, because I wouldn't have known how to handle it. Yeah. And I also don't know if I'd still be around. So it helped me realize how to be smarter now, more efficient, use my time differently. I don't allow the no's now to affect my life, because now I create those no's into a yes. And if it's not a yes, I'll figure out how to make it a yes. And if it's not with that project, it'll be this project. I don't allow people to determine my future. And that's the key. It's like, once they see you have the strength and you have the power, they're going to find a way to be part of your life and your career. That's how I see it. But I didn't know that before. I thought they just don't like me. I'm just not good enough. Something else. And that's what creates being jaded. And you hear all the negativity in this business. There's lots of negativity. There's lots of bad people.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The evil is around, but it's around the whole world, man. It's not just in this business. It's just projected in this business because of social media, marketing, spins, how they spin things. Some's real, some's not. But if you allow that into you doing this and affecting your life and your passion, then you're letting the evil win. And I've found a way to understand the evil's there. You can't exist without good and evil, man. It's just the way the world works. You just have to figure out how to use it to your benefit. Do you know what I mean? With being the best person you can. So that's the best advice I can give. You're gonna be jaded a little bit, but be stronger than that.
Yeah.
You're gonna let them predict your future? No, not me.
I've interviewed many older celebrities and actors, and one of them is Ed Asner, my buddies. I've interviewed him several times.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Legend of business.
Yeah.
He said something in one of the interviews. He said to me, he goes, "Just stay on the road. Someone will discover you. You'll pass by people. When you get off we take the turn off, they can't see you because you're not on the road anymore. You'll just stay on the road, and you'll pass people, and they'll go, 'Oh, you come do this movie.' That's how you got up. Then you go, 'Oh, dude, oh, come on, you got this little,' like he said, he just stays on the road."
That's the best advice I'll ever give you. Anyone who's been doing it, especially as long as he has. But even if you get off the road, you want to go to the bathroom, fine. Get back on the road. You see what I'm saying?
That's
like
right.
You can't. How can anyone who's ever been successful in anything in life, they didn't become successful because they got off the road and kept getting off the road. I can guarantee you, anyone who's the most successful at what they do is because they started to realize, once you have the power in your hands, that doesn't mean being more powerful than someone, having more money than someone. It's having them go, man, I want to be part of what they're doing. I want to invest my time with this person. The confidence is a big thing. Confidence. How do you gain confidence? It's not giving up, man. It's learning the ropes with all of it. And believing in yourself. That's the number one thing. Believing in yourself. That will kill you the most. Some of the most talented people don't believe in themselves enough because they're always their worst enemy. You know what I mean? It's just the truth.
Now,
You have to do yourself.
We're gonna get into your network work, but you've done indie digital content right now is huge. The Bay is huge. Multi-Emmy award winning The Bay. Mary J. Martin, Christos Andrews, all my folks over there, Mary Beth Evans, Jackie Zima. I mean, all my folks are over there. I know all of them.
They're all family, man. Been a long time with these people.
Yeah, you have, and that's what I was gonna say. So I mean, you've seen how this business in the digital space has changed, haven't you? What are your thoughts on that?
Drastically. I mean, we were the first show when we were short formatted series. I think when we were a web series back in the day, it was the first show to win a daytime Emmy for best short format series. It kind of got us pushed into the whole Amazon situation. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you know, Gregory and Christos have acquired one hell of a cast. You know what I mean? Like, we put together, you know, an ensemble cast that's like of so much talent and so much just experience in the business and been on such big. I mean, look, I mean, it's such a wide range of actors that are on the show. You know what I mean? And, you know, when I found out that Ron Moss was going to play my dad, you know, I grew up watching soaps and being on Days of Our Lives too, even though that's not the soap he was on. I was within the whole world of it. So he's like, oh, guess who's playing your dad? And I was like, I didn't know at all at first who he was talking about. And he said Ron Moss. I'm like, you mean like the quintessential soap face of
Yes.
And I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then, so that was so cool. And then we have such a wide range. We got Vivica Fox on our show. We have Sean Patrick Flannery on our show.
Yes.
So it's not just soap star. You know what I mean? Like, Gregory's found a way, and I have to give him the utmost credit for that because, you know, I've known him for a long time now. Probably 11 years. And when I came on the show, it was the first year. Actually, well, initially I wasn't Damian Blackwell. I played Matthew Ashford's character, Steve Jensen, younger version, years ago. And so after they had put that out, we had discussed, okay, I want to bring you on now as a different character. We reinvent Erik Fellows as a different character, and we decided to go with Damian Blackwell, and that's how the whole Blackwell thing started. And then they brought on Brandon Beamer, which is a good friend of mine.
Yes, we love Brandon. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's so cool that we ended up playing brothers, and actually we really do look like we could be brothers.
You do. I know you do.
Crazy. Yeah, it was really well casted. Actually, all three, me, Brandon, and Ron, it works really well.
It does. It does.
Yeah. So we're happy about that. So Gregory did a great job. Well, he's done a great job with everyone he's cast. So, and we've all become very, very close. We're all very close friends, and like it's like family. So that being said, the show's done really well. So we're very happy about the success of the show. And
how would you describe your character to people if they haven't watched The Bay?
Well, initially, Damian was kind of like a bad boy when it first was introduced on the show. I was like a kind of a club guy, kind of like, but he also was bisexual at the time. So I had, you know, I worked opposite to Jade, who's actually one of my closest friends.
She's great. She's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. We got some good stuff. I can't talk too much about.
I know. That's why I would ask. I know there's stuff coming out. I mean,
I can say certain things. So, so I started out playing opposite to Jade, and then Matthew's character at the time was played by this guy Thor Nye, and so initially he was like a bad boy, kind of like thought he could do whatever he wanted, thought that his can I say shit?
You can say shit, didn't sting.
Oh, shit don't stink. You know, that type of guy. He's like partying and, you know, taking party favors, and he had a learning experience, lesson to be learned. He had a drug overdose in the club in the early seasons of the first season of The Bay, and got a liver transplant because his liver was failing. So he was either going to die, or this character was not going to go on. So they realized they actually made a choice to Marley's character ended up dying in the first season, who was the lead of the show at the time, and ended up getting her liver. So that kind of transitioned him. But then it was like a lesson to be learned. Now I'm going to turn my life around. So Damian now is kind of like, he's a good guy. Like, he's a relationship guy. He's a thoughtful guy. He's charming. He doesn't have a whole lot of money, but he tries to come up with the best scenarios to you know, be this good guy, relationship on the show. I'm now dating Alicia Willis's character, Avery. So it's Damian and Avery, which I think we make a we get a really cute couple in the show, actually. Yeah. It works. Like, we're very good friends too. Yeah. And he's one of the only characters that at this point in my career I play a good guy. A lot of times I play a lot of
Yes, unsavory characters.
Yeah, well, we'll get into the next what I'm doing
Yeah.
at the moment, but yeah, he's a good guy. So it's refreshing to still know I could be a good guy. So he's
And
all
you're a
around.
good guy.
I think he's a good guy. He means well, and he's got a good stuff coming up in season 6 with Jade and Alicia actually and Brandon. So I'm excited for people to see it.
Yeah, so I know because I was talking to I forget who I was talking to. I think it was I was filming. So you guys were filming. How was the film? Because I know with the COVID and everything, how was it for you guys?
Well, we went back into production. I think first it was like July 10th or 8th or something. So we finished it was like August 6th. So it was about 6 weeks or 5 weeks we shot.
Okay.
5 or 6 weeks, I think. Well, it was the first time being back on set since I got back from filming Purgatory. So I had already been on set prior, so from Purgatory, but it was at the tail end of shooting Purgatory before they shut everything down to come back to LA. So I'd only been off for a couple months, so I knew the precautions that were taken at first, but then the pandemic became much more severe.
Yeah.
So then, so everyone, it was very interesting at first because people didn't know how to really take it all. Going back on set, having been sitting in their place for 3 months, man, or 4 months. I know. People are going a little bonkers. So I think we handled it really well. I mean, it was stressful at first, I'm not gonna lie, because it's really difficult to get used to wearing a mask.
Yes.
It was really hot where we were shooting. We were shooting on a ranch the entire time to kind of keep us in the same area so people didn't have to keep leaving, coming back, and putting people at risk.
Yeah.
Some people we had to sometimes a little bit, but we were tested all the time, so everybody was safe on that point.
Yeah.
It was just getting used to that. You know what I mean? It's hard wearing a mask 24/7, getting used to that. It's hot when it's hot and you can't breathe in the mask. And you have to rehearse. A lot of people you get agitated easily because it's putting you in a predicament that you're not used to.
Yeah.
Outside of your comfort zone, especially when you're an actor, because you have to not let things in your head. You know what I mean? You have to be focused.
Yeah.
It's a lot to handle at first. So I think it was affecting some of us a certain way, but we got through it, man. And I have to give credit again, Gregory and the whole crew and all the actors credit. We got through it, and he put in another season in the bag, man.
Well, he's a well-oiled machine. I mean, it's all well-oiled.
Yeah, but it takes an army to do it, and again, we made it happen. So I'm really proud of him and the whole team and everybody. And so it was tough, but we worked together and we got through it.
Ron Moss is one of my friends, and him and Devin are two of my really good friends.
I love them both. Yeah.
And so I always call Ron every time I see him the coolest dude in the room. He literally is just the coolest dude.
Look at him. How can you not be the coolest dude when you're Ron Moss?
I mean, but you know him. He comes. I mean, we know him off camera. I'm saying off camera, he's just laid back, relaxed. He's a rock star too. I mean, he was in Player.
Well, no, this is what I'm trying to say. I don't know how you cannot be as cool as him when you are him. Right.
I have male friends who are straight who have man crushes on him. They're like, let's go Ron Moss. I mean, that'd be it. I'm like, I get it.
Hashtag Ron Moss.
Hashtag Ron Moss.
That's what it is. There's nothing you can do to out overcome Ron Moss. He's just Ron.
You can't out Ron Moss.
I'm gonna send you a red carpet interview me and him did together a couple years back. It's really funny, and if it's something that you want to put up, but there's little clips of it you could put up, little stages. But this will just give you the perspective, the people that need to see what we're saying. I mean, people already know, but it's funny. You're gonna die because it's just how he does it, and you're just like, man, you're Ron Moss.
He's Ron Moss. He's just Ron. I mean, I
want one day to someone to say, man, he's Erik Fellows. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point as Ron Moss because he's so cool, but I'd be happy just to be a couple tiers lower. You know what I mean?
Me too. Hello, I'd be a couple tiers lower. I mean, he's seriously just the scarves. He just walks in.
Oh, dude.
The chiseled features and
it's just that's why I said when I first started finding out, I was like, oh, you mean the quintessential Ron Moss, the face. He's the coolest dude. And I'm I get to play my dad, so that's really cool. They're both him and Devin are very, very.
Oh, yeah, Devin's my girl, so
she's awesome.
So leading into soaps, because you did do Days of Our Lives for several years.
Yes.
So okay, and I always tell this all the time. soap people, daytime TV are some of the hardest working people. It's this misconception that it's just cheese and this and that. Like,
Right.
they're pretty, and well, nowadays, you're more than from when you were on. They're doing sometimes 8 shows a week. I mean, like, it's really this, it's about a well-oiled machine. How was your time? You played Troy Winston. How was your time on there?
Well, I've been asked this question a lot recently, actually, because it's been a handful of years since I've been on there.
Yeah.
I would say, well, a lot of things I took from it, but the main 2 things: one, I learned experience in a quick amount of time of being prepared and getting it done, from the fact of how it differs from, like, prime time or movies in general. You know what I mean? It's just your time frame of shooting is just so much different, and you have to learn how to adapt to that scenario. And that it's scary at first, because I remember I had long hair. Now I think back at that look, very funny. For years I was just like, oh, it'd be cool to be on soap. And within that time that I got Days of Our Lives, I think I had tested for One Life to Live.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a week or 2 before, but it was back in New York, and I personally just didn't want to move back to New York.
Oh, okay.
I mean, once I was in LA, I was happy. I established my life in LA, and I love New York. It's just, it wasn't for me per se. I love it. I love visiting. I spent 2 years there when I first went. I didn't want to go back necessarily. I was happy in LA.
Yeah.
So I didn't take the opportunity to even go in or even do the test. I remember I was like, okay, well, maybe something over here on a soap will happen. And within, I think, 2 weeks, I ended up booking Days of Our Lives. So, but it initially was a recurring, and it ended up staying as a recurring the whole time. But we had talked about coming consistently on the show, possible contract or something like that, and then they just kept bringing me back over 2.5 years. I went back as Troy Winston, and again playing kind of like this bad guy. So, but the thing, I was so scared, man, because you're like, oh man, you mess up. If you mess up, what people don't get about soaps is what you're watching is basically one take.
Oh, I know, right.
Like, people don't realize that. They think, oh, they probably could just do it over because they think they just have all this time in the world just to do that. No, man. I think in the 2.5 years, I think I had fumbled maybe 2 or 3 times, and that's out of sheer fear. Like, I was just like, oh God, if I get, I was scared if I mess up, they'll fire me. I don't know, you name it. No, but this is the fear of soap situation. Because they're on a time. Boom, boom. It's a machine. Boom, 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 boom. And we would shoot 2-3 episodes in one day sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, when people don't put that in perspective, want to know what that means? That means 180 pages a day, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, we shoot on a movie 3 to 6 pages in a day. We would shoot 180.
I know.
On a soap. So, hey, listen, man, if anybody thinks that it's cheesy, go try it. Because it's really difficult. But it taught me how to respect the time. It taught me to be prepared. It taught me to understand in a short time frame what this all means. And it also taught me the one thing that works for me as an actor, it doesn't always necessarily work for other people. I don't judge the lines.
Okay.
I never go in with a perspective of exactly how it's supposed to be done. Because in the moment, just like right now, when I'm speaking to you, I don't know exactly what I'm going to say next. I don't know how your response is going to be to what I say next. If you predict how to say a line and expect you to respond a certain way, and you don't, that doesn't take you into your next delivery how you predicted it to be. So for me, I'm more of a spontaneity. I love on the moment, but in order to be able to do stuff like that, you have to understand all of it. So I don't judge the lines, and it helped me learn dialogue a lot quicker. Because when you overthink it all, it tries to lock into your brain a specific way, and we don't live life in a specific way. We live life from one second to the next. We don't know what's going to happen next.
Right.
So if you live within the performance, understanding that, for me, it helps me. So that helped me about soaps. The thing is, when I go back and watch it now, I'm thinking to myself, man, because I didn't know this before when I was doing it. I learned it as it went on. I'm like watching, I'm like, oh God. And I see myself now, I'm a much different actor than I was then, but I didn't know that then. So I would say that taught me all of that to get to where I am now. So I have the utmost respect for anyone who's on a soap and who has had the opportunity to be on a soap, because people don't realize that's one take, man. You might get 2, and that's it. That, if you're lucky.
Maybe. Right.
That is a huge maybe.
I know.
So Utmost respect for soap actors.
I did. I dabbled in acting over the years. I here and there. I I like being a producer and host, not better. But I've done some stuff, and I have friends that do
Okay.
it.
I love
James,
it.
what's your part? So I did a movie with Vivica Fox last year, a Christmas movie,
Yeah.
called Second Chance at Christmas. And it was funny because my friend Gerald Webb, who was directing it, he goes, James, I wrote this part for you. You'll be a bad host. You'll be a bad host of a dance show. Okay, sure. He goes, very opposite of you, James. Very opposite of you. So you're gonna do it. He goes, I'll send you your sides. I said, now, Gerald, I haven't acted in like 4 or 5 years. I haven't really done anything. He's like, oh, you can do anything. You're James Lott, you can do anything. He sent me 3 pages, and I was like, 3 pages? What am I gonna do? So I can't even imagine. I mean, I got through it. Obviously, I did it.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure you're wonderful, man. I know what movie it is. I know what movie it is.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. But I'm thinking, but my thing is, folks who get 60 pages, 30 pages, and they have monologues that go on for 10 pages. I'm just like, I just bow to you. Okay, I have respect for you that my little 3 pages was enough. I don't even know what yeah, good luck. I mean,
it's just like anything, dude. It's a muscle. It's like getting used to, speaking in ways that you weren't used to doing it before, and using what it means in your brain differently. I don't know. I mean, that's how I kind of worked. And we'll get into real quick. If you want to get into Purgatory, I'll tell you about my last show. So I'll tell you how I worked on that show. People thought I was crazy the way I did it, but that's all from soap training. It helped me learn to be confident. Because honestly, if you're gonna be confident in anything, one take, man. That's why I gotta give people like even live hosting, like someone like Ryan Seacrest. I gotta give him credit right now. Ryan, I give you credit. You're a machine, and it's unbelievable. That's impressive. Like the way they do it, that's scary to me. So at least I know I have that chance to like change it.
Yeah.
Like being live, man, that's tough. Man.
I love live. I do a lot of live stuff, and
and utmost respect.
Yeah, I love it.
But people always just say to me, "You'd be really good at it because of the way you are." But I think I would now that I've learned myself. But before I was scared, I was scared to be judged. I'm not scared to be judged anymore. Right. You cannot be anyone successful in this business if you're going to worry on it. You'll end yourself before you start.
That's true. That's true. Before we go on to the next thing, I want to find out, anybody on the set of Days of Our Lives, do you remember that was really helpful to you? Any of the actors?
Everyone I worked with. Lindsay Hartley, James Scott, who I worked with a lot. Eric Martsolf.
Oh, Eric,
but your name's with a C, buddy. Your name's
spelled with a C. I know. I'm good friends with Eric.
If for some reason he sees this, I want him to understand that. Your name's with a C, buddy. Mine's with a K. So even though you were the veteran on the soap, and I was the newcomer, you know what I mean?
Yes, we love Eric.
Your name's with a C. So anyway, Eric's great. Everybody, man, everyone that I worked with that's been on there for a long time, helped give me the confidence that I had. And Lindsay, I've worked with Lindsay Hartley the most. But she had been so seasoned as a soap star.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so I watched. She just was, the way she speaks too, just like she was like a machine too, but in a very believable machine. And I was like, man, how's she doing that? Where I used to kind of break up my thoughts. I'd be like, da-da-da-da. And I had this voice a little bit, like a tone, like, oh, Ariana. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even speak like that. And it was like I was playing this, because the kind of character I was playing. So I'm like, who is that guy?
Yeah, who's that?
So it helped me learn. I would say all of them were very, very helpful.
Very good.
The main ones that I worked with the most were Eric, James, Scott. I got to work. My first episodes were with John Aniston. You know what I mean? So that was really cool. I was pretty starstruck going, oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Stefano, man.
Oh, yeah. Joe Muscolo, yes.
Yeah. I got to threaten him a few times, and he's very intense, but also I'm at my finger in his face.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about me as an actor. I don't notice people's faces at all. And when I can tell you, wait till I tell you about the new show.
Why am I
don't. You know what?
Why am I not surprised?
Listen, if I work with anybody out there, I'm not going to hit you. I mean, I've done that, and it's
I'll
not
get
cool.
Close, but I won't hit you.
But I definitely invade people's spaces. I have a funny story about Ron, but I don't know if I want to say it. But anyway, point is, I learned so much from just that. It helped me. Just the confidence, man.
Yeah.
Once you're confident, people see it. It's a different story.
Very cool. Okay, so now obviously you've done some films, things like that, but you have Purgatory, of course, and you just came back from Romania. Where'd you come back from? Where?
Armenia.
I know somewhere.
Yeah.
Beautiful countries.
I was in Transylvania. No, listen.
I'm gonna say beautiful countries over there. Beautiful over there.
Yeah, Armenia. Well, I'm excited to get to go back. Actually, I was so scared at first going to Armenia. I'm like, oh man, trying to picture what Armenia looks like in my head.
Right.
No, great time. Beautiful place, actually. Very historical. The show I'm very excited about. It actually season finale was a couple weeks ago, but you can binge it now. It's on Popstar TV.
Yep.
Purgatory, I got a chance to play a very, very interesting character. A character named Bobby. Initially, when I was offered the show, I was offered an option to either play the lead, sort of spoiled, sort of daddy takes care of you, get you out of everything kind of brat, or this lead nemesis villain, ex-con, killer, has done stints in jail, tatted up. Yeah, like been on the other side, in the inside for a long time. So initially I was like, listen, I'm playing that guy.
Yeah, I can tell already, like, I'm going that way.
I was like, I'm going that route. I mean, that's cool, and I'm not saying that wouldn't be fun, and I could do something with this guy, but I knew that I had something, a real dark sort of like arc to mess with and something to play with here. And let me tell you, they let me. So for those of you that haven't seen Purgatory yet, go check it out. So Popstar TV, and it's Purgatory. It's one of the featured series that are on there right now. First season just came out. There will be a second season. We have to go finish that. Okay. It'll be in the early in the new year. So he's just Bobby's a dark character. But the thing about Bobby is, one thing I had to learn, well, I've learned over years of playing sort of like the aggressor or the bad guy or the nemesis, that you still have to find a way of people to relate and to know why you might be this kind of person. Or, life isn't, we all go through things, you know what I mean? Again, I always say there's a good and evil in life, and you have to understand how to work through all of that. But we want to end up on the good side. So I tried to let him be real. You know what I mean? I wanted to live in those moments of why he might have these psychological issues, or why he would do these sorts of awful things to people. What was he missing in his life to feel this way? And I think I found a way to play him, authentic in a way where he's real, and you don't hate. He's not a very redeemable character because of the things that he does. And I don't want to give too much away, because then I'm giving away the show. But it's about 12 characters that end up getting an invitation on New Year's Eve to this resort sort of like event. But they've all been given a separate invitation to this event that they're all there for a certain purpose, for one particular purpose, but they're all connected in a way. Whether or not it's the one person who brought the significant other, they all end up being part of it. And they get lured into a situation where they're trapped underground to this surprise, they say. After the dinner, everyone meets, introduces themselves, they end up in this cave. And they're trapped. And for the duration of this, and then, you're not just in the cave all the time and going back up, there's cops looking for everybody. It's just one of those shows, but, it's kind of like the game of Clue, trying to figure out who did what, why they're connected. They find out early on of what's connecting them, but then they can't figure out who really did it. No, it's really cool, really intense. Visually, it's pretty dope, man. Like, I have to say, like, the director, Mike Cassie, and Hike, who directed, there was the American director and Armenian director. The cast is made up of American. We have so two of us were out of LA. There was three out of London, and then one out of Canada, and then we had the rest were locals, were Armenian or Russian. So it's a diverse cast. You know what I mean? Like, it's really cool. It's different. So, but Bobby, I took this guy somewhere I have never taken any of my characters. This is definitely by far the most I'm proud of a character, because I got to really mess with him and really, really take it to a point of emotion, vulnerability, sensitivity, anger. He's very all over the place, but I try to make him as lovable as possible while doing it. It's weird.
I'm going to ask you, do you like Bobby?
I love him.
Is that important to your characters? You have to like him?
Well, the problem is when, and it was said to me, villains don't think that they're villains. They think they're heroes.
Right.
And I always
thought that, right.
Well, that's the thing, and it's the truth. And I was, told this recently, from someone who actually is one of the main people of producing on this project. And he says that's the one thing that you realized about it. And I don't know if I actually took in consideration. It just came natural to me to understand that. I'm not a killer. I don't go out and hurt people. I don't want to hurt people. But it was fun to play him because it gave me a perspective of thoughts. We have crazy thoughts in our head sometimes. To be able to do that on screen and live those moments and kind of like let out emotion that we can't always do. And I think that's who Bobby really is. He's got a lot of pent up feelings about everything. So, but I don't hate him because I don't think I'm really doing that awful things wrong to people. And there's like a kind of like a little bit of a love story in it. You'll see. At first you're going to be like, oh, wait a second. So there's a twist in there, guys. And, but it was also portrayed that way on purpose because I didn't want it to be the quintessential bad guy doing awful things and there not be a relationship involved to give that conflict. So an actress actually playing it, her name is, if I say it properly, Tatiana Maranovic. She's going to laugh when I say it.
I love it.
Oh, she's going to die. I don't think I said her name right. But she does a fantastic job. She does a really, 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 she plays Lisa. So you'll see the Bobby and Lisa thing happening. And yeah, I'm proud of her. I thought the whole cast did a great job. Everyone that played the roles really well. And I just was happy to play Bobby. So I'm excited to finish off season 2. He's more severe in season 2 than he is in season 1. In season 1, he's pretty aggressive. Yeah. So stay tuned for Purgatory.
Well, that's very cool, man. To get a second season, first of all, in this business is like,
dude, get a new season.
Like, to finish the season, right?
To talk about a season, that would have been great. It's like, you know what I mean? like. So, yes, and seasons now are so funny. It's like, oh, I shot 4 episodes. We have a season. What season, bro? I just binge watched it in my living room while I was on my phone. It's over.
Yes.
Cobra Kai, just watched. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I love this. Are you kidding me? I'm watching last night. I was so like, oh, I can't wait for season 3. Well, I was a huge Karate Kid fan. I love, I'm like literally relating to it while watching, going, oh, my God, I remember. That's the song from back. And I'm like, wow, Eric, really?
Really. That's why that show is so well, because
it's so good.
Because they were fans, first of all. That's the whole point, and that's why it's doing so well, because they were fans.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah, it was good. My friend Sean Kanan, they always bring him up because he was in Karate Kid Part 3. It's Mike Barnes.
Yeah.
They're trying to see, will he come on the show one day? And so everybody has to stay tuned. He might. You never know. I mean,
let's go, Sean. Let's go, buddy. Where are you?
He wants to do it. But it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I see where they're going. They're trying to just like pay homage to the old film, but also give you a new story, make sure it makes sense.
Right.
All the stuff, the ducks in a row. Because that's a great current story. And it has it all flows.
I think they produced that show really well. Yeah. It's, because it ties in so much of the past of the with the success of those movies. And this the people that did experience them. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm watching it and it just brings me back. It wants me to go watch the movies and then tie it in with the story. And like the kids these days don't know too much, so much because they didn't see those movies. So actually, I want my son to be able to watch it. My stepson Sebastian to watch it to make him understand what it means to me. Because I act like a little kid when I'm watching it. Yeah, but that's when it's been done well.
I agree. I totally agree. So now you also are doing some producing stuff and things like that. And so when you look for projects, what kind of projects do you look for? Like, what are you looking to do?
Well, 2 things before we get on to that. I'm just going to tell you real quick the 2 movies that are coming out. These are actually...
Please,
oh, God, oh, my God, they're going to kill me. I completely forgot to mention the very important situations right now.
Oh,
I have coming soon, a movie called Break Even. It's coming soon. You'll start hearing in the next handful of months, you'll start hearing about it.
Okay.
And then I have a movie called, working title, it's called Starfucker, actually.
Alrighty, okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in the midst of figuring out, it's a movie that's been a 4-year process.
Oh,
it's a dark comedy, and it's about the quintessential actor in LA that will do whatever it takes to make it. And oddly enough, it was a lot of my life and it wasn't written for me. It was not written for me. I just happened to
have lived it.
Jimmy Starr, who was the lead of the film. So it's a director that I've worked with many times. We're very, very good friends. His name is Mark David. we've done my movie Texas Heart, Johnny Sweet Revenge. I initially was first involved with Mark on a movie that he did years ago that I played opposite to Val Kilmer called American Cowslip. And crazy cast: Peter Falk, Diane Ladd, Bruce Stern, Lynn Shay, Blake Clark.
Wow.
People I've worked with many times since. So Mark actually opened the doors for me in that way, but he brought me a script, or actually we discussed one night, hey, I've got this really cool movie series that I wrote it was actually initially called In the Land of Milk and Honey. And he had told me we ended up kind of transitioning into Starfucker, but now since the times are a little bit different, we might be changing the name.
Okay.
But we're in the midst. That's actually in the final stages of CGI. So that will hopefully be coming sometime in the early to second quarter of 2021.
Okay.
But we're dealing with some deals with it right now. But it was shelved after Me Too because it's very Me Too.
Oh.
There's a lot of stuff, but it's a dark comedy with a really twisted, takes some twists and turns and dark paths. But the conflict is pretty strong of what it is in this journey of this guy and learning lessons to be learned. And this is a perfect movie for a lot of actors to watch because a lot of it was my journey, even though I didn't do a lot of the stuff that's in it, but it was within the realm of it. So it was really interesting to film something that felt like realistic life. So when I'm watching it, it wasn't once that I ever played this character that I even thought about playing the character. I actually just did it. And it was like, man, you are Jimmy Star. And it's just weird to acknowledge that, going, oh my God, am I him? Because he's a narcissist, he's a sex addicted, and these aren't things that I was.
Right.
But I was in such the world of it that it relates so well that I just didn't know any different how to play. I just played it. So it's aggressive. I'm not gonna lie, it's an aggressive movie, but I think people are gonna really like it. It's funny. It's got some really, 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 really good characters in it, and people did a fantastic job on all sides. I'm really excited about Break Even. It's coming soon. It's in the vein of Fast and Furious, kind of Into the Blue meets Gone in 60 Seconds. It's a heist film.
Okay.
So I can't say too much about that because I don't actually know enough about.
There you go.
I do know it's coming, at some point. So those two, because of COVID, they got pushed because they were supposed to already been out. So it's good. Yeah, no, they already had, they had their moments come out, but so we've now reassessed, but they're coming soon. So other than that, bunch of stuff, but in what you'd asked, producing, I helped produce Starfucker. So that was a lot of work in its own. And we have a new project right now that we're working on. The working title is called A Date with an Angel. Okay. But we're kind of working through some stuff right now with the title and kind of getting the script to a certain point. So actually that's what I got to do a little bit later. This is the first time I've ever produced.
Oh, okay.
So I've produced mildly, helped out, connected the dots. But this one, man, it's like, whew, not gonna lie, a lot of respect for anyone producing anything.
I know, trust me, I know. It's a lot.
I know. So I'm saying, dude, congratulations. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot. But ultimately, it's actually put more of a hunger in me because now I want to see things really come to fruition. You know what I mean? Like you put your effort and you bring people together. You now have acquired a team and you want to make the best project possible. So you don't want to sell yourself short. So now that's where I'm at with it. So there's lots of issues sometimes doing these things, but you want to see everybody see the same picture. So you produce this thing the best you can. So that is one thing that I have to say I have respect for, man. It's a lot to do it all and act in it and do these things. So yeah, I'm producing myself, but this is the first time I would say that I've put people together.
I like producing. I do. It's like a puzzle pieces. Like it's like doing a puzzle. Like you just.
Well, it gives you something also to like really do. Like you're really doing it.
Yeah.
You feel like you've actually contributed to making the whole thing. Even though listen, the lead of the film is in a show is fantastic.
Great. Oh yeah, it's great.
But when you feel like you've accomplished a lot of it with the team, instead of just going in and doing what you've done, it's great to perform, man. But when you can control things too, it's pretty cool. So
yeah, I agree. I have a project that I even did the theme song for it. So I did the theme song,
amazing.
and right now we're in casting right now, and it's a lot of work, but it can be really fun to see it, as you say, come together. And those moments that click, you go, we got it, or we got this part, or this comes together. You get this deal. We can film here. Like when stuff starts to come together, there's nothing like it. It's addictive.
Well, there really isn't. Especially the one thing is you come in and you perform in the project and you're like, oh wow, you get to see your performance and share it with people and you had a great time doing it. There's one thing when you know the entirety of it, and you go, man, we did this.
Yes.
That's the difference. It's team instead of just I.
I agree.
And I think that's the thing. I felt like before it was just I, not trying to think that way, but it's only what acting really allows you to do. Right. You can, within the team you play because you're performing with them. But when you feel like you've watched your project that you made with everybody and performed in it, there's just like fulfillment that's different than just performing in it.
Yeah.
I would say, for me. So that is how.
And your name's on. So your name is on, your production or whatever your name is on.
Yes.
It's
yes.
yours.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. So I'm excited about the stuff, all the stuff that's coming, man. There's it's a cool ending to the year, to a year that's been really rough on the world. Yeah. You know, and I hope that I hope this brings people together in many different ways, stronger than we were before, because the path that we're going down is just not good. And the path that we're still dealing with is not good, but I think this is making people start to talk about this kind of stuff, helping them relate and talk to each other, and knowing that we need each other now more than ever, because I think we started to forget it a little bit.
I think, the world was going a certain direction, which could have lasted forever. I mean, it had to burst.
There's no way.
And so this was one way it bursted, and it bursted several times during this period with all the different, we have the Black Lives Matter stuff happening, then we have like the weather stuff happening, like
fires right now. The fires are insane.
They're insane. I know. I mean, I had a double mask this week with a couple of things outside. I'm down here in Inglewood. I'm not even near. I'm down here,
right? And
the ash was all over the car.
Oh, by my house. I'm in West Hills, and it's rough. It's rough. Yeah.
It's rough. So I think the world, there's no coincidence that we're here now, and that people are having to rely on creativity and other people. And like I said, I've done a million of these interviews during this time period. I mean, I've done maybe 200 or 300 at this point over the
amazing
months. But it's been a great bonding experience. We're bonded. I'm bonding with people like you, and bonding, and that's the whole point. And the conversations are important. I think conversations are very important.
They are, and I'm trying to find myself calling people more on the phone instead of just texting, because honestly, I can't. First of all, I don't get my point across correctly. They either think I'm being an a-hole, or like, let me just call you, and then they'll screen your call. I'm like, bro, just pick up so I can explain.
Yes, exactly.
And they're like, oh, okay. And then they pick up. I'm like, hey, what I'm trying to say that my voice text is not related.
Exactly. Oh my God.
I'm not even like blah, 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 and I'll go like that. And I'm like, it says. I mean, God, some of the stuff it says is like not even close to what I said. Yeah. Thank you, Apple.
Yeah, I know. I got Apple. I got Apple too. I mean, it's like whatever.
Like, come on. It's like you guys are supposed to be super smart here. What's happening here? Can you understand me when I'm talking? I hope so.
Mine's all like, I don't understand your voice. I'm the only voice that talks to you. There's nobody else.
You're slurring your words. I don't just or like, oh, you're just your loud Italian mouth. We don't understand you. Like, you know what? Then figure out an app that does.
Exactly.
It's like, come on.
Just me.
So, but I think you're right. This has been a time for people to really communicate. And man, let me tell you, because at first I was like, Zoom. I was like, oh, God, really?
I know.
But now I'm actually really enjoying it, because it's getting people to talk that wouldn't normally talk together.
Yeah, I agree. I know I agree with it. And I mean, it has revolutionized our business.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? It's really, where people were going to fall apart completely, it's actually now advanced their life in a better direction. So, like you, and you know what I mean? Like, so I have to say, thank you, Zoom.
Thank you, Zoom. Zoom.
I don't know who you are, but thank you,
Zoom. Whoever you are.
I don't know who you are.
Right. The corporate world somewhere. It's all for corporate meetings.
Oh, they're like, this guy's crazy.
Well, see, I've seen 2 Zoom plays and a Zoom.
Wow.
So it's going to change. It's changing things already.
It is, but then again, we do have to get back to human in person.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, we're having virtual proms, virtual like premieres, like the Emmys, virtual. It's like, come on, guys, we have to get up there.
I know, it's very interesting. Watching the daytime movies is very interesting. On sitting in front of my screen here and watching.
I know.
What's going on? The ISA Award.
See me? Like, can they see me? Like, what's happening?
What's going on? Yeah, it's a little strange. Erik Fellows, you are the bomb. You're my new best friend. So tell folks where they can find you on the social medias.
Okay, social media. It is my name, Erik, better than a C.
Yeah, okay.
Fellows. So Erik Fellows, Fellows, Erik Fellows official on Instagram. It's my IG. And then Facebook is Erik Fellows, spelled exactly the same way, Erik Fellows. There's a few on there, but the one that's blue check is mine. So don't.
Yeah,
there's lots of there's a few other. I don't try to use it that way.
Verified.
But actually me, and there's the one that's me, my personal page, but there's a few others that are not me. So, good luck. And then Twitter is Erik Fellows. I'm sorry.
You were so funny.
I drank.
Yeah, he's having coffee, guys.
Vanilla sweet cream cold brew. Starbucks, you should be paying me, bro. Guys, you know how many of these I drink for a week?
I know. I'm a Starbucks member since 2010.
Wow.
I got the gold card back then. I was like, gold? I was like, man.
Where's my gold card?
My name was engraved on it.
Jesus. Wow.
And then they said, no more cards, now on the phone. I'm like, I'm a member of Starbucks because I should have stock in that company too. I should be doing it too. I do enough there too. I'm all about the vanilla bean frappuccinos all the time. I'm like,
I get sweet cream, vanilla sweet cream cold brew, venti, light on the ice, extra sweet cream. And sometimes I have to like today they didn't give enough sweet cream because then it tastes like bland. So
you can't switch ice either because switch ice waters it down.
Right. So I did extra. I do light on the ice, but I made it good, you know. So yeah. So this is why I'm like.
And it's Erik spelled with a K or C on there.
There's no name. Oh, because I didn't go in. There's no name.
No name. Okay.
There's no name.
Okay, no name. There's no name.
Oh, when they put C.
You let them have it, don't you? You let them have it.
I say, can you take this back and can you put? Okay.
Take it back. You can take it back.
No, I'm not that. Honestly, Eric's with C's are great too. It's great. Eric.
The ones with CKs, they're special.
The ones with CKs are a little weird, but you want to have a C, you want to have a K. It doesn't matter. You're still a human being.
Yes.
You're just not Eric with a K.
That's how we'll end it. Thanks, Erik, for being on our show. You're amazing.
Thank you so much for having me, man. You're awesome.
We'll talk again, of course. And folks, so follow him. Of course, in the description, I'll have his handles where you can follow him and stuff like that in there. And the shows, I'll name the shows: Purgatory, The Bay. I'll have all down there too for you to watch. All great stuff to look at. Our friends at The Bay, of course, we love them. Greg and everybody over them.
Woo-hoo.
They're innovators in the business. They're working it out. And they're legends in the business. They've been around for so long. And for me, you follow me. We're all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms, kids. I'm even on TikTok, folks. I'm a TikTok star for some weird reason. Follow me on TikTok.
TikTok, man.
I got on there as an old man, and I'm like, I'm a hit, actually. Don't even know why. I'm a hit.
I signed up a long time ago. I did a skip with my friend Brittany Underwood, who's on.
I love it. On my movie, yeah, Miss Brittany. I love Brittany.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I said, Brittany's one of my best friends. Yeah, but I did a skit with her because she looks a lot like Shakira. So if you look at Brittany's up, I did a video with her on TikTok. Only video I ever did. I think the first video I ever did, but only video I ever did. And it got I was chasing her being like a paparazzi person, faking it and saying Shakira, and she ran from me. And I swear to God, it got 4 million something.
Oh yeah.
On her because it looked like Shakira.
Yeah.
But people believed it.
I have a video that did 1 million. So I'm like, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even on left-handed.
Well, I'm gonna go
left-handed scissors. I have left-handed scissors. I did it.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I'm doing well on there. I don't know what it's about.
I'm gonna go follow you. Well, I was told I had to do TikTok, so
follow James Lott Jr. You'll see all my video. I mean, I talk from everything from Star Wars to left-handed stuff. I do spoken word. I had 3 TikTok song hits this summer that went viral.
Dude, okay, this is a lot for social media. Is a lot, man.
It's a lot. No, it's a whole other. It's a job. It's a job, and for me, my business,
5 things in one day. I can't do 50 things. All right, well, I'm gonna work on the TikTok. I'm gonna look you up. I'm gonna follow you because this is awesome. You're awesome, man. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. You guys, follow JLJ Media across all social media platforms. Extra Connections is on every streaming service you can think of. So wherever you listen to your great podcasts, go there, and chances are Extra Connections is there. And on YouTube, we're on my online network, JLJ Media. We're 30 shows with many hosts. Doing amazing things on there and talking about amazing subjects. We're here to affect positive change in the world. That's my motto, and that's what we're going to try to do. We're also about diversity. We're doing all these things, men, women, all ages, races, everything. That's what I do on my network, and so we support that. And we support creativity, content. We support acting, support the arts. Arts are very important, folks. The arts are very important to our society, our culture, and our psychology. It's very important. Don't anybody tell you differently that music and acting don't matter. It does matter. It all matters.
Yeah.
And that's my goal, is to bring more of that to you all out there. Everyone, please, wherever you are, whatever your weather situation is, I wish you safety, because I know there's like snow in some places, hurricanes in other places, and fires in others. Just try. I wish you safety and getting through it, and we'll see you next time. And connect with each other.